even more.
Absolutely. And I would just add to that, remember that it gets darkest right before the dawn. So right now, this is like, the last minutes of the last moments of this monster that's dying. That's basically there is nowhere to go here. There is nowhere to go from here. Certain energies have shifted. Certain energies have come in, and I talk about it a lot in most of the interviews that I give. Which, by the way, these energies that I'm talking about, they measurable. There are institutes, there are universities out there that have picked up on influx of certain energies. These are cosmic energies, as well as energies seem to be coming from inside of the earth. That's measurable. Even though we're struggling with the scale on our instruments, our instruments are this energy is off the scale. So there is some kind of change, some kind of shift in the cosmic context. As above, so below. That kind of energy is being mirrored by energy coming in from, well, let's call it the lower world, underworld, inner earth, however we want to call it, which seems to be very, very supportive to the changes that are happening. And this is exactly why they are panicking. I mean, they are panicking. You see what is happening right now. Prophecies. There are ancient prophecies that are by the indigenous people of different cultures, Cathars. All of these prophecies are specifically talking about the times now, the apocalypse. Even the Vatican confirmed that the apocalypse has commenced as of 2017. They have confirmed that then. Yeah, absolutely. Because the apocalypse describes certain celestial event. Specifically, apocalypse describes, if you start reading through the paragraphs there, it describes an event where the Virgin, clothed with the sun, and the crown of 12 stars above her head, and the moon at her feet, and she was with a child. That's what you're gonna find in the apocalypse. That is a celestial event. When you analyze, when you sort of try to rip into every single element of that description, what we're talking about in the apocalypse is the constellation Virgo. The sun entered constellation Virgo, the Virgin clothed in the sun. The sun enters constellation Virgo. The 12 stars forming the crown above her head is the constellation Leo, with the main stars of the constellation Leo plus Mercury, Venus, and Mars visible, approaching from the constellation Leo side. And then we have the moon at her feet, so the moon leaving constellation Virgo. So this is a celestial event. And this is not something, because you see, we are talking about alignment of a lot of celestial bodies in the same time to create such picture. This is not something that happens on regular basis. This is once in a in a very long time, and the time is now. That happened 2017 at the autumn equinox. So 23rd of September 2017, that celestial event took place. That is described in the apocalypse, and the Vatican at the time, that has been removed, because then that has been removed, but they have confirmed that the sign as described in the apocalypse has occurred. So the domino effect, as you like, the apocalyptic domino effect, the end of the world is in motion right now. And I'm from Eastern Europe, which probably everybody picked up now, picked up on my terrible accent. But I live in Norway. I live in the north of Norway in the Arctic. And I have been quite lucky to be exposed to the Norse mythology here and be able to put that in context as well. And of course, you cannot miss the Ragnarok, right? Ragnarok, end of the world. That's the end of the world in the Norse mythology. But the true meaning in the Old Norse of Ragnarok is the doom of the gods. They say the doom of the gods, and men know in the original Old Norse translation, Ragnarok, the doom of the gods. What does that mean? Who are the gods? Well, the gods are the Gnostic Archons. They are the Babylonian, Mesopotamian, Sumerian Anunnaki. They are the Greek gods of the Olympus. They are the Norse gods of the Valhalla, and any mythology has their own context, but these are the same beings. These are the same beings. So the doom of the gods means the doom of the ones who designed this matrix.
Whoa!
This is the end of the ones who designed this matrix, and I will tell you more, because the Apocalypse says something critical. It says that there is a woman, the woman with a moon at her feet. And we need to understand that the moon has been part of the control mechanism. It is not a natural satellite. It has been part of the control mechanism of this matrix, of this realm, part of the control mechanism of this holographic reality as we experience it, because it is literally like a computer game. We do not have such a free will as we imagine. We only have limited number of scenarios, because guess what? Everything is predetermined and everything needs to fit together in this constrained reality. So the moon is being absolutely part of that reality. And when the woman takes the moon under her feet, which is, by the way, if you look into a lot of artwork from ancient times, if you look through artwork from the last hundreds of years, that specific picture with a woman and 12 stars above her head and the moon at her feet has been depicted for millennia. This is part of the prophecies. This actually predates Apocalypse. We've known about it, or this has been prophesied before Apocalypse has been sort of written down and included into the Bible, into the scriptures. So we know something very specific, that the moon loses grip, especially over women, because, as you know, a lot of women will be linking and sort of connecting with the moon, totally unaware that this is absolutely a malevolent body, not natural. And actually, by design, our original connection is never with the moon. The moon is never feminine. The moon has never in any culture. And even up until now, if you look to etymology, and if you look into a lot of languages, moon is masculine. It's not feminine, and it is not connected to women. This is part of the programming. So why is that critical? Because the moon loses its grip. Literally, this mechanism stops working. And in Ragnarok, in the description of Ragnarok, in Voluspa, in the texts here in the Norse mythology that we can access about it, Ragnarok starts from the snake that bites its own tail, Ouroboros, which is a symbol that's been overtaken, because originally it is actually a positive. It represents something very positive, but it has been hijacked. It has been overtaken by the Archons in that context of what they have been using it for. That snake bites through its tail, and the circle that's Ouroboros normally creates obviously sort of opens up. It's destroyed. What is that a symbol of? It is the symbol of the zodiac, of the zodiacal circle above us, which means the zodiac, the codes of the matrix. Literally, this is a symbol of the matrix starting to fall apart. Matrix is starting to fall apart at Ragnarok, because this is the doom of the gods. The energies are no longer there to sustain what these gods, what these archons, what these beings have been practicing here. This is not to say that we should sit back and relax and just wait for the show to be over.
Right.
We have a job to do, but it is absolutely representative of the fact that cosmic energies, cosmic context has changed. It's something shifted, and right now we are being heavily, heavily supported. And you see, guess what? When we are being supported and when all these things are playing out, they are doing everything in their power. They're doing everything they can to redirect our attention and to stop us, to disconnect us from these energies by the means of intervention into our DNA. Of course, you know, we've seen that over the last 4 years, right? With the whole let's create a fake pandemic and then inject people with DNA altering hoax, right? And then on top of that, what do we have now? Well, now the Kill Bill that's got, you know, tired of the of his old project. Now he's moved to a new project, which is blocking the sun through solar engineering, right? So there is geoengineering, there's solar engineering. He's trying to sell us the nonsense about the climate change, about the global warming, so that he can have a nice excuse to start this time round blocking the energy from the sun. Why? Because in the cosmic context that I mentioned before, there is an influx of cosmic energies. A lot of it is coming from the sun portal. By the way, according to the oldest accounts of the indigenous cultures and the ancient texts, the sun is a portal. The sun is how we are able to sort of channel certain energies into this realm.
Wow.
So when he wants to block the sun, you know, make no mistake, and look how our attention is being redirected, it's being diverted onto absolute nonsense.
I agree.
Right?
I totally agree, man. I know we can't keep you much longer, but I just want to. So the end of the world's coming. Prophecies, eclipse. What do you think that looks like? If you had to guess what it's going to look like, and is it just like are we all just effed? Like, is there a way we get through this and we're like, woo, God, that's over?
Not at all. Not at all. I wouldn't say that, you know, it's all lost and it's all bad. I would say that it's actually very exciting and it's very good. Again, let me go back to the Norse mythology, Ragnarok, doom of the gods. I mean, don't we want that, right? Don't we want this world to end? As in, not the whole world. Let's not worry about that. This is not about literally the whole planet or whatever we are sort of collapsing. We're talking about the end of the world as we know it, the end of this matrix. That's what we're going for here. This is what the prophecies are saying, and it's not just the apocalypse. This is, you know, this is the prophecies of the rainbow warriors, the Hopi, the sort of two timeline. This is the Mayans talking about as well the end of the world, as in the end of the world as we know it, and then humanity having sort of two options to choose from. Very much, like I say, back to the role of women, and the reason for that. This is not in a context of women sort of taking any high profile jobs or any high profile functions out there, because this is not what we're talking about. We're talking about Age of Aquarius. Aquarius being a woman. This is a return of alchemical woman, a woman holding a pitcher, pouring the water of life. We need to strip that allegory out of its symbolic meaning. We have to understand what does it actually mean in real terms, right? So this is me stepping into my engineering boots, if you like, for a minute. This literally means that women need to again access, perhaps open up the full spectrum of our alchemical qualities, so that we are able to receive these energies that Bill Gates is desperately trying to block by blocking the sun, and we are able to receive into that picture, into that holy grail, the energies, because that's obviously a symbol of the womb of a woman. so that we are able to receive these energies. We need to ground them. We need to receive them. They need to land somewhere, because otherwise this is just energy. This is just potential and nothing's going to happen. But a woman needs to be able to birth this energy into this realm. What does that mean? It means translate these energies into sort of tangible outcomes, into she's the weaver of destiny, of the good destiny, of the destiny of men, not the destiny presented to us by the gods in the shape and form of the zodiac and other control mechanisms. So very big part played by women to return to what we were originally and always naturally equipped to do and designed to do. So I would say that this is a very, very exciting time, and these women are out there. These things are happening. This is not something that's sort of advertised and spoken very openly about. The ones that are doing what they are doing, very humble, in silence. Doing what they are doing, not really discussing that, not sort of waiting for anybody to recognize them. It's just these are just natural processes. These are natural processes. These are not any kind of rituals. These are not any level of sort of intentions, etc. This is nothing that's sort of happening by force. These are natural processes. Whereas men, return to the heart very much, because this matrix doesn't know what to do with that. This matrix is built on reptile-like behaviors around, food, sex, and survival. So very kind of low vibrational behaviors. So whenever we rise above that and we start acting out of the heart, out of what we truly feel, rather than that kind of reactive state, which they like to keep us in by, locking us into this. You need to work, you need to pay your bills, you need to run like a hamster on a treadmill. When we rise above that, we create a world that they just don't know how to function in. And it's pretty much, what we are pretty much observing, with the glitches in the matrix, this is the construct collapsing. And like I said before, it gets the darkest before the dawn. So they are right now, they are at the loss of means. They grabbing and trying their hardest, and they pulling the last, I wouldn't even call it aces up their sleeves, because I don't think they have aces anymore there, because things are getting more and more ridiculous. Things are getting more and more obvious, just like you said before. But let's not forget this concept. Every culture out there knew about these times coming, and this was not to be feared. This was to be sort of expected with excitement. And these are the times. So let's not lose sight of what these times truly mean. Let's not get pulled into all these sort of disinformation tactics. Yes. And all these other tactics that are keeping us arguing with each other on the internet, and other tactics, all these 50 genders and all this other nonsense. This is all destruction on purpose. So please, let's look at it in a context of what this truly is, and stay grounded, stay focused, stay within ourselves, not get pulled into the games of the matrix. And I think we have a very good shot at it here.